what I've found out is over the years now that I've been doing it for as long as I have, I've just found out that my brain just works practical. Engineering, whether it's audio engineering or mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, practicality is kind of the basis of it all. As an engineer, it's your job to solve problems or come up with solutions for problems. So I've always just thought very practical and then came up with things that I was like, oh, this seems to work. It works because it's practical. Fast forward, to now that I had the chance to work around some seasoned guys and some well-known guys. That's really when it started going from like practical application to like technique and to learning stuff like that. I was partner in a studio called The Kennel in Brooklyn for a while. Wharton Tiers, the engineer who did Sonic Youth, well known in the 90s and in the post-punk indie scene, stuff like that. He was a partner in there too. So, just kind of hanging around his sessions and watching how he did things and asking him questions. I knew I was getting better. I would have like a change set up, for like recording or mixing. And he would be like, why did you have that going into that? It forced me to have to answer, which means I had to think about what I was doing instead of just routing something that I thought would work. So that's when I knew I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting to, in his eyes, like get better and just come up with some new and interesting ways or things that made sense to somebody who wasn't me, which means a lot.
If you had to explain to a listener who loves music but has never touched any gear, why does something like signal path matter? What does it mean, first of all?
Okay.
Why does it matter what gets plugged into what in what order?
This is one of those things where it's like it could be a very simple, easy answer, or you could get into esoterics.
No physics. We don't do physics and we don't do math on this podcast.
I mean, I guess ultimately you just want the cleanest, purest signal. I've been doing less recording and kind of working more in archiving and transferring a lot lately. And I really made it a point to not, even though we're using multiple machines and multiple formats, like I still preferred to not use a patch bay, going from tape machine into the computer or whatever. So
yeah,
that signal path, when you're archiving and digitizing, just having the purest straight off of the machine. I mean, when you add additional connections, you could potentially introduce phase problems. You could potentially introduce more noise or a buzz, or the more connections, the more potential problems you might have.